Hi, I don't know if you watched the video that I posted before this one. It was basically me going to the JavaScript skill assessment from LinkedIn. They have this skill assessment. So I went to the JavaScript one because I was inspired by a video from Web Dev Simplified, the YouTube channel. If you don't know it, go subscribe to him. He has great content. But I was a bit annoyed because even though I didn't watch all his video, I saw that a lot of the questions, and maybe all the questions, I don't know because I haven't watched all of his video, I didn't have time at the moment, but almost all of the questions that I saw were the same as in his video, and even though I basically answered the same that I thought when I was watching his video, I thought it wouldn't really show exactly what I know because it would be kind of cheating because I watched his video before. So I thought maybe I should try and go through the React one as well and see how I do on the React skill assessment. So let's see how I do on that one. So let me just change camera view. I will go to Chrome, and you can see I have the React assessment here. Again, they have 15 questions and they say 5 minutes per question. I'm really interested to see how I do on this one because the weird thing is I worked with React for the past year and a half, so I didn't work a lot with vanilla JavaScript. I work with React, which is JavaScript, but it has some things on top. But I'm interested to see if there's some stuff that I'm missing. So let's see how I do on this one. You can basically try, if you're working with React, you can kind of try and see how you will respond to these questions and see if you think the same as me. So let's get started. Okay, so it says, how do you fix the syntax error that results from running this code? Const person equals first name, last name, return. So this is basically an arrow function and it returns this. So what's happening here, console log person of Jill and Wilson. So what's happening here, the problem is that they're basically saying that they're returning an object, but to return an object you have to put some parentheses like at the beginning of the object and after that. Otherwise this would think that here is starting a function, but here they're just trying to return an object, so you need to basically surround it with parentheses. Wrap the object in parentheses, that is the answer, right? What is the name of the tool used to take JSX, I don't even know if I know how to pronounce that right, and turn it into create element cars? I think it's Babel on this one. I'm pretty sure it's Babel. Okay. When do you use layout effect? Okay, this is one of the ones that I don't know because I haven't used layout effects before. So I will look immediately after that on a tutorial to see what this does. But let me try and figure out. When you need a browser to paint before the effect runs, to optimize for all devices, to change the layout of the screen. I would assume is this one, but it might be a trick. But I assume is to change the layout of the screen, and I'm pretty sure this is the correct answer. So let's go to the next one. When might you use React put component? Again, this is something I didn't use. I saw it used in projects that I worked on. When you don't want your component to have state, when you want a default implementation of component update, when you do not want your component to have props, when you have similar pure components. This is a tricky one because I haven't used it before. Should component, I think it's probably this one. I will go with this one and take the risk. I have to look exactly what this does after I take this assessment. So let's go with this one. What is the difference between the click behaviors of these two buttons? assuming that this handle click is bound correctly. Button on click, this handle click, click me, button on click, event, this handle click event. Button A will not have access to the event object on click of the button. Button B will not fire on the handler. Event. Button A will not fire the handler. I will go with there is no difference, but I might be wrong here. Now, obviously these are questions and sometimes you have to debug while you're working. Sometimes you may forget some things, how they're working. And I won't say that I'm a JavaScript or React expert yet. What is the children prop? A property that adds a property that lets you pass data to child elements. I think it's a property that lets you pass component as data to other components, right? Let you pass data to child elements. A property that lets you pass component as data to other components. I think this is the one, so I will go with this one. I have used this before. Yeah, I think this is the one, so I will go with this one. What will happen when the useEffect hook is executed assuming name is not already equal to John? Set name John. It will execute the code inside the function, but only after waiting to ensure that no other component is accessing the name variable. It will cause an error immediately. It will update the value of name once and not run again until name is changed from the outside. I'm tempted to think that this will cause the infinite loop, because if it runs every time when the name changes, then when you change it, it should change again. But I'm not sure about this one. I'm between these two. I will go with it will cause an infinite loop. I'm really curious to see how I do on this one. What value of button will allow you to pass the name of the person to be hacked? What? Class huggable extends the add component. Hug ID is console long hug enclose ID. Render. What? Let name equal. What value of button will allow you to pass the name of person to be hugged? Render. Let name equals let button equals button on click. Oh, I'm gonna fail this one because I don't have enough time. I think this should be the time expired. No! Failed on time because I spent too much time reading. What is a target ID called in this code snippet? Okay, so this is a computed property name. I think this is it. I'm going between a dynamic key and a computed property name, but I seem to remember that this is the one. Computed property name. Might be this one, but I'll go with this one. Okay, let's risk it. What do you need to change about this code to get it to run? Render, return, h1, right, class, clock, extend, react component, render, return h1, look at the time, this props, this props time, h1. I think it's capitalized clock here because I think the classes, the React components have to be capitalized. I'm pretty sure of that. So why is it a good idea to pass a function to set state instead of an object? I think is this one. Set state is asynchronous and might result in out of sync value. I'm pretty sure this is the one. So currently HandleClick is being called instead of passed as a reference. How do you fix this? This HandleClick. HandleClick, this is not, but these two are the same. What was the difference between these two? This HandleClick, this HandleClick, these two are the same, aren't they? Are they giving us a hint here? What am I? Oh, so this one is wrong, obviously. On click, this is not the one. So I'm going between these two, but I would say is this one. I don't know if we can do the bind here. Usually the bind you do it outside. So I'll go with this one. Which attribute do you use to replace inner HTML in the browser DOM? I think it's this one, and dangerously set inner HTML. I came over this one quite a few times. How do you set a default value for an uncontrolled font field? Just uncontrolled. Use the value property line. I think this is the one. But it assigns one automatically. I mean, you can give it one, but if it's uncontrolled, then you shouldn't give it one because then it will be controlled, right? I'll just go with this one. I don't know. When using Webpack, why would you need to use a loader? To put together, to load external data, to load the website into everyone's phone. It's a funny one. TP process file. So I'm going between to load external data and to preprocess file. I will go with this one. And let's see how I did on this one. We have results. Top 15%. Not so good on this one. Can I see what I did wrong? I cannot see what I did wrong. Why? Info. Only people who score in the top 30. So I'm in top 15%. Yeah, I knew some of these. I wasn't sure about them, but I'm not sure which ones were the one that I took wrong. So if you do know which ones I did wrong and you can tell me about them, do put a comment in the description. I love to know what I got wrong. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this one and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.